Chris Duffin here. I am actually going to update my YouTube training log. It is a fact. So today, getting a little deadlift session in with Mr. Chris Bridford. Big Darrington's hanging out somewhere, not sure where he ran off to just yet. But the reason I haven't been posting, I've had a lot going on. 2 family weddings, had my 3rd child. We've released our new barbell line, which has kept us really freaking busy. But we're getting through that, and I'm back to training. I am backed off. I've decided it's time to back off of training heavy. I've been training very heavy specifically for like a year and a half now, and I haven't been doing really any hypertrophy blocks or lighter strength blocks. So I am going to be working into that. And so right now, it's a little unstructured with my training, but there's some very well thought out things for what I'm doing, how it affects my body, all these sorts of things. So the first few weeks I'm kind of playing through that, and then we'll develop a structured plan from there. But I want to take a different approach. So this is going to be the first training log where I've done this. So instead of compiling the week, I'm going to be focused on one workout for the week, and I will film the entire workout so you can actually see everything that I do, not just the one heavy lift. Although the last year and a half, it's pretty much just been the one heavy lift. So I think this will be really interesting, and I'll talk about the whys and hows of why I'm doing it. So again, it's a little bit freeform this few weeks, and then we'll move into a more structured hypertrophy block from there, because I haven't really been training I took at least a month off. Most amount of time I've taken off since sometime in the late 90s probably. So this is it. Enjoy.
This is a prone press. It's for actively being able to maintain an overhead position. Really works the lower traps, and it can be great for rebalancing lower to upper trap development. I'm using it as a warm-up and just an assessment. I need to get a lot better at these. Those are only 5-pound weights on that. Whenever possible, I try to do any work that I'm doing in a grounded, rooted fashion, so you're stabilizing through the entire body. And here I'm doing some rowing, just done in that fashion. Definitely very beneficial to do it in this manner over machine type work that has you locked down or seated position whenever possible. Trying to cover up my butt crack there, hanging out there. Luckily I was successful. But yeah, that's you want to make sure that you're keeping the same stance from side to side and shifting it as appropriate. And then this next one is a pull down variation, single arm. So really great getting that balance all the way across the crossbody. Again, this one is not a rooted one, obviously, but really cool movement. It frees up, without having the single bar in the center hanging onto it, it frees up the scapula to move a lot better and glide across the rib cage the way that we want to see. And then this works great for me because of the limitations on my elbow. Pulling down into a good position is pretty difficult. So this I can open up, and that's why I'm pulling it into the front towards the end. You may or may not want to do that, but that works really well for my limitations in elbow movement. And this one is the Duffin upright row, or DUR as we call it. We've got detailed video on how to do this on the KMS website, kabuki.ms. If you've got any questions on that, and it'll go into more details. But it's an upright row that frees up and eliminates the impingement that can happen on a typical upright row, and then also adds in rotation and a scapular retraction into the movement. Really great for a number of lifters. Actually, I've got some Olympic lifters and some rowing athletes or throwing athletes doing that movement as well. All right, now we're onto the shoulder rock. So this may not look like it's a back drill. It's actually anti-rotation drill, and that lever out there makes this really challenging. You have to brace and make sure that you're moving at the waist and trying not to twist so much in the spine. And then hold that good posture, not in flexion, but incredibly strong. And then it's also, again, rooted all the way from the foot out to the distal end. You've got a pressing hand, so you can see in this one here, my left hand, I have to fire the pec and everything in there. On the right hand, the lat, the serratus, all that is really engaged, pulling and holding that in. And the closer that you hold that, the more that comes into play. So after I've done all that back work that I just did, this just lights up the use of the back in a stabilization manner and conversely, with the pec and anterior delt and all that on the opposite side, bouncing back and forth between those. Also works great through the hip, glutes, all that really come into play. So really, really cool movement. And depending on the day, I'm either going to use the shoulder rock in pre or post. So here, I had a really great back workout, but some of that kind of tightens me up a little bit. So I just thought I'd finish out the day with doing some shoulder rock swings and leave the workout feeling good and refreshed. So can't go wrong with getting a little shoulder rock work in, now can we? I started with the traditional two-handed swing that we teach, but the one-handed swing, if you've ever mastered the double hand, the one-arm swing is really cool because you can hit each shoulder from opposite directions, and it really kind of hits it a little bit different. A lot more powerful movement, but takes a little bit to master this one.